All right, welcome everyone back to Beyond the Precon. This is the second episode this week because I'm going to be sending them off in pairs because I want to keep going with the series. I want to try to make it move a little faster. I was pacing myself, but no, I think 2 at a time and get it done because I have another series I want to start after that, which I'm super excited, but that later when it comes closer to what it is. All right, but now before we go on, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, leave the comments, and little thumbs up if you like the content. All right, so now let's talk about Wanda Maximoff, and the first thing I'm going to say is yes, she has 2 obligations. Oh my god, that question. It is almost a meme now, how crazy that is. All right, so Miss Maximoff is a mystic with 3 recovery, a hand size of 6, and 10 hit points. And just like her brother Quicksilver, she has the superpowered siblings, the action that you get to discard 2 cards and draw 2 cards. And if Pietro is in play, you get to draw 3 cards instead of 2. So 2 for 3, it's a pretty good deal. All right, in her hero form, the Scarlet Witch. So she has a thwart of 2, an attack of 1, and a defense of 2. So pretty well-rounded stats. So you can tell right away that she is not a very physical hero. She's an Avenger and a Mystic. She has a hand size of 5 and still the 10 hit points. But one of the cool abilities she has is called Chaos Control. So this is an interrupt when a boost icon on an encounter card would be counted. Discard the top card of the encounter deck and count the number of boost icons on that card instead once per phase. So that's pretty cool because there's a whole bunch of events that you can try to change probability. So I really like the design on this character. Very, very fun. If you guys want to know a little bit more about the rules, how you count and all that kind of stuff, I think I should mention a few things just to make it clear. All right, so her ability, let's say the villain attacks you and he reveals a 2 boost icon. The boost icons is this. So you would do, all right, I'm going to Chaos Control. Maybe I can get a 1 or a 0. So and let's say in this case you would get a star icon. Now, because her ability, you would not do the star boost effect because you're already at the counting phase. But if we had him in reverse order, and then she would reveal this as the first boost card, you would still do the boost effect on the card. Now, if you would choose to discard it afterwards, you would get, let's say, this one. Then you would just count the 2 after that. So that's just something that you need to take in consideration. If you use your ability on let's say on a 2 or 3 boost, and then you get a star, you don't do the star. But if the star comes out as you're first, then the star must be resolved. All right, so that is it for rules. If you want more rules, check out my full breakdown of her hero kit that I did like a while back. You can just look at in the Wanda Maximoff playlist. All right, so obviously a couple things that you want to put down closer. Let's take a look at her hero cards and what makes her so unique. Obviously, her ally is her brother Quicksilver. Very cool ally. He's got the 2 attack, and then he can ready himself twice. So you can thwart 1, attack for 2. So that's pretty cool. So if you have ways to upgrade him and make him stronger and keep him alive, well, that's a really good ally to invest because he activates twice per turn. So that's numero uno. And then when he's here, even if when you're in Alter Ego, he's Quicksilver. And again, same thing if you're playing with the Quicksilver hero, both your identities must be in Alter Ego to be able to benefit from that superhero sibling bonus. All right, that being said, all right, she's not like her brother. She doesn't have a lot of cards that she wants to put on the table, but Agatha Harkness is one of them that lets you, again, the same kind of thematic, kind of search through the top 3 cards in Alter Ego. You get to choose one and put the other 2 at the bottom of your deck so you can kind of plan your final turn, which is super solid. Definitely a card you should put down there very early in the game. And this is your priority card here, the Crest. Now this one is when you would when the boost icons are counted, again, once the boost icons are counted, you can increase or decrease. So that's very, very powerful. Oh no, he's attacking me with a boost of 2. It's going to kill me. Oh, well, you know what? Here, I'll reduce that. Or here, let's change it first. Oh, it's a boost of 2 still. All right, let's just reduce it. So a lot of things that you can do with this health, and it's really, really powerful. So it might not seem super strong, but it is. It does make a very big impact. All right, then the last upgrades that she has 3 upgrades that are pretty cool, and they're not limited to 1 per table. So if you can put those down, you're going to feel a lot safer. Those magic shields. So whenever a friendly character, so it's not even you. So if you have your ally, let's say Quicksilver, you want him to block for you, and then you can block with Quicksilver and just say, look, I'm going to use my magic shield and prevent 3 damage that would be coming your way. So that's very, very good. But most of the time, you probably want to use it for yourself. But you can also save other people, which is great. But those upgrades kind of go away. Now let's take a look at her magic. All right, so the most powerful spell she has is Chaos Magic. So this basically lets you play a card for free from your hand, but at the cost of accelerating the encounter deck by discarding cards equal to its cost. So play a card from the hand, ignoring its resource cost, and discard cards equal to the printed icon. So if you have an Avengers Mansion, boom, you have your Quicksilver ally, boom, you have a symbiote suit. Yeah. All right, so you can do anything for free. So sometimes you might want to load your deck up with a couple of more extra expensive cards just to be able to benefit like a really good one with this. So this is a super solid card. Then there's her Cancel All, which is very cool, the Warp Reality. So when an encounter card is revealed from the deck, you can cancel all of its effect and discard it, and then discard equal to the number of boost icons. So again, very, very strong. So it's an encounter card. It doesn't have to be a treachery. It could be any card. You're just like, nope, I don't want that. Anything. You just cancel whatever, which is super good. All right, then she has her big, powerful attack, which is the Molecular Decay, and that's 5 damage to an enemy, and it is an attack, and then you discard 2 cards to deal extra damage. So in the hero phase, which is cool, is you can change that to try to get 7, 8, 9 damage, and with the helmet, even maybe bring that up to like 10, 11 damage. So if you get 2 boosts of 3, that's 11 damage for 3. That's pretty darn solid. All right, so that's it. And now then it's kind of like Quicksilver had 4 cards that wanted to be played. His Always Be Running. She is always wanting to be hexing. So this is your money card, and this is unlike Quicksilver. His money card is his Always Be Running is garbage in the beginning. Her card is the bomb as on the second you start. Because depending on the boost icons, you deal damage, you remove threat, you draw cards, or you place a status icon. This is just so solid. So that is her money card that you definitely want to start playing as soon as possible. All right, so there you go. So that's her kit. Again, very solid. Now let's take a look at her precon and how we can make that even better. All right, this is what our precon looks like. So for reprints, we got 7, 2 Heroic Intuitions, 2 Powers of Justice, and 3 the double resources. We got 2 new allies, Wiccan and Speed, which is pretty cool, which is technically her kids. And then we got a whole bunch of new events. Crisis Averted, which is a great card for multiplayer, 6 and ignores Crisis. Multitasking, which is a great card for solo. Remove 2 if you paid with a mental. Swift Retribution it's an okay card. It's damage if the villain schemes. So since you're playing Justice character and you have the possibility of confusing, so if you confuse the villain and then you make him scheme, you can deal 4 damage just by removing a confused status card. Since she plays off of that, you can, it's good because it's damage. And then Turn the Tide is just a more damage card. So that's kind of the theme here. A lot of damage cards. And then there's a great card that can only be played by Mystics. So the last Mystic we saw was Doctor Strange. So that is pretty cool. That lets you discard 2 to draw 2. So again, kind of like her ability here. Discard to draw. Very, very powerful. And then Order and Chaos if you have Quicksilver in play, you can do that. It's a cancel effect and 2 damage. So very, very cool. Now, how the deck wants to be played, if you just want to keep it like that, you're mostly going to focus on her thwarting. So you're going to put a heroic intuition, thwart for 3. You're going to use your allies, and you're going to use turn the tide to go in for the damage. And then you're going to use your hex bolts and molecular decays, and you're going to pretty much win the game fairly easy. But if you want to upgrade that precon, here's what I would suggest to remove. The first thing I would suggest is get rid of the 3 crisis averteds. It's great for multiplayer, but in solo play, it's very rare that you're going to need to remove 6 threat from the main when there's a crisis. So that's the 3 first cards I would remove for solo play. Then the swift retributions. Like, I don't know. I'd never want to make the villain scheme. It's an okay card, but it's the price is too high. So I would remove all 3 of those too. You can keep one in if you want, but you're so much better off with the turn the tides because they're for free. So, and then the final card I would remove is an extra heroic intuition. So those are 7 cards. So Steve, what are we replacing that with? Well, like I said before, you probably want to add in a couple cards that are more expensive. So for Justice, let's bring out a Mr. Daredevil, and then after that, I would add a whole bunch of basics. So I would add Nick Fury for, again, more card draw, more damage, a blocker. Then I would add an Avengers Mansion. Again, if you get that, you want to have a 4-cost card with that Chaos Magic there. And then adding more cards for 3, I got Mockingbird here and the Helicarrier. So again, a couple more allies. So then we have 5 allies in the deck, 6 if we count Quicksilver. So that's pretty solid, especially that, she might not be able to stun and she might get attacked a couple times. And then keeping Quicksilver alive, just because he's really good, or keeping Daredevil alive, or even Speed. You got 2 first aids to really round it up there. So then you have a really solid deck that can just kind of do anything that you need. So there you go. So that is the deck in a nutshell. I am gonna suggest. I was gonna suggest another deck, but most of the deck is right here, and I would just basically be playing almost just basics. So just putting basic stuffs in. So let's take a look at some of the hero packs. Yeah, because right now she's, again, very good, but I think Justice is definitely her jam. There's something called Turbo Draw. I forget who made that. I think it's Brian V. But I don't want to give credit to somebody who it's not. But yeah, somebody built something called Turbo Draw deck, which is very, very good for solo, extremely powerful. And it's all about discarding, drawing cards. So very, very cool deck that you should go check out if you really want to play that Scarlet Witch deck. All right, so now let's take a look at some of the cards that I would suggest to go beyond the precon and how to increase Scarlet Witch's power level by a gazillion. Alright guys, so if I was going to get some hero packs to really amplify Scarlet Witch, well, the first hero pack I would get, and no, it is not probably who you think, it is not Doctor Strange, but the first hero pack I would get if I was going to buy this and upgrade her would be the Black Widow pack. And you're probably asking me, well, why, Steve? Because Scarlet Witch is very good at thwarting, but she does have a lot of ability to control the game. So the cards like Quake, where she can go to Alter Ego and still deal damage. Coulson gets her some preparations. The Spycraft for extra cancel effects. Counterintelligence, just to have mega advantage. And then you get Espionage, and then you get Target Acquired, and the Quinn Carrier. Black Widow's pack just has the most value to really amplify Scarlet Witch. So this would be the first pack I would recommend to get. The second one would actually be still not Doctor Strange. I wouldn't recommend Doctor Strange until why? Because the next thing I would say to buy if you want to upgrade her would be the Rise of Red Skull, and mostly because of Spider-Woman, because of cards like, first of all, Clear the Area, and then Skilled Investigator. So again, if you want to build that turbo draw deck, you're going to need these cards. And then nothing feels better than just being able to play Spider-Man with the Warp Reality and remove like 12 threat in a 4-player game. So that he's mostly for a multiplayer game, but still. And then other cards like this, like Spider-Girl and Press the Advantage. Again, Press the Advantage. It's another way to draw cards and playing Scarlet Witch and Aggression if you want to. So very good, very, very good cards with her deck. And then with the Hawkeye deck, well, you get Team Training. So then you can really have some fun with Quicksilver with an Inspired. And then all of a sudden he attacks for... he's a 2/3 and he does 6 damage a turn. So that's... And then he can do it 5 times before he dies. So that's like 18... 5 times 6 is... What am I doing? I can't. 5 times 6 is 30 damage. Wait. No, it's 3, 6... I'm counting too much. 12... I can't count. 5 times 3 is 15 damage. Come on, Steve. Yeah, well, there you go. And then you have another, like, War Machine who comes in with a tough, which is pretty fun. And then you can give him another tough, and he can just do some stuff. So that is the second hero pack that I would recommend. And it helps her out if you want to play a couple of protection cards and stuff like that. The third hero pack, and this is mostly honorable mention, and again, still not Doctor Strange. So it's going to be Nebula's pack. And the reason why is just because of one way or another. Again, more card draw for Scarlet Witch is always good. She gets a side scheme. She can do a lot of work with a few cards, so gets it done. And then here with the Justice Serve, so you put a threat out, you clear a threat, you're ready, remove more threat. It's Christmas. And then finally, the last honorable mention, well, there's only 2, would be the Doctor Strange pack. And the only reason why is because of this Sorcerer Supreme card. Because there's nothing else in the Doctor Strange pack that does anything worthwhile for Miss Scarlet Witch. So there you go, guys. So hopefully you try out Scarlet Witch if you haven't tried her out. She's a great, great hero. She's very fun, but she will accelerate the villain deck. But she's got the cards to back it up, and she can take out a villain. Toot sweet. So that's really good. So guys, very fun hero. Definitely recommend that you try her out. So keep on playing Marvel Champions. Stay tuned. Next week we're starting the second box. So this is going to be the second hero this week. And then next Monday we're going to have Rocket and Groot. So there we go. 2 more hero packs. And again, going with our deuce a week. So keep on playing Marvel Champions. Hope you play the game with Scarlet Witch, and her Hex abilities will help you beat the game. Ciao, ciao.